Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead, sponsored by Spiegel Law PC, 516-873-1683, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, and Reister's Bakery. Here are your hosts, David and Norm. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Dan. Norm, school budget time, right? We're in the middle of it.
Right. So we're gathering the facts. We've had Karen Brum, the president of the school board. Certainly, nobody has more facts than she does.
Yeah.
And this is the time of the year. If you have questions, these are the people to ask. If you have input, certainly we could use input in helping to drive down the costs. And I guess this is the season.
Yeah, so, the full interview is up on the website, it's up on Facebook, and I urge people who, to go out and vote. I'll save Dan the time, go out and vote. They should know the facts, and they should know what's going on. So it's an extensive interview, check it out. Yeah. Last night also we had the candidates meeting at the school. Yep. And we had Alan Skorsky, who's running against Janine Galina. They're replacing the Bert Blass seat. Bert is stepping down. Yep. And so here's a couple of observations. Number one, not a lot of people showed up. So we talk all about the school budget and how important it is. At least come down to these, meetings, and if people are taking their time out to present, and then it's gonna. So I think in total, maybe 20 people were there. That was pretty bad.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to rant about it anyway because we do it all the time. It's less than a week to go. Just show up. It's been a little different this year. We've had a lot more agitation, I would say, in the airwaves in past years about people getting all worked up about different things. The big takeaway for me out of the interview with Karen and Brian Phillips, who's the assistant superintendent, I can't remember exactly what it is, who's the budget guy. It's the same thing as always. The transportation costs are absolutely through the roof. They are dipping into the reserve funds. I'm a little confused by the math, but they're taking out 1.9 million, and then there's 3 million that's somehow with some reconciliation. I don't quite get it. But as of right now, I haven't heard a lot. I'm sure there's people who are concerned about things, but it's been, cross my fingers, relatively quiet.
Yeah, I think that 3 million is part of the run rate difference that I don't really know, but it's an interesting calculation. I'm not sure, exactly, how much I want to get into, all the particulars of the questions that were asked last night. But in general, there were some really good questions that were asked at the meeting. Both candidates asked them as best as they could. Alan was on a remote, and Janine was there. And, great questions.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think anyone has anything to contribute that's going to drive down costs. And that's the big issue in this vote, right? We're voting for a budget. Either you're into the budget or you're not going to allow it. But I have to say, the people who are putting these things together are seriously dedicated. Yeah. We know these people. Karen certainly has been around for a very long time and has other board members, right? Yeah. So these are people focusing on this stuff. I don't know how much anybody really has to contribute from the outside that I've heard.
So the budget is a tight budget. It is transportation. There is the issues of the reserve. Both candidates, by the way, just seem to be sort of agreeing with the board. It wasn't really like a lot of variation. They both took a platform of saying, we're pro the incumbents who are here. We don't really have any huge issues. We're one. And I think that's great. But I didn't really hear any challenges. You would expect to have a little. In past years, there's been a little back and forth. Didn't really see that.
Well, maybe a lot of that's behind us, right? So people are getting it now.
Yeah, we can certainly hope so. The other financial piece I want to call out is the state numbers. What we're getting out of the state is like next to nothing. If I don't quite understand how all the math works, but Hempstead got a lot more for different reasons, and we got sort of a little bit of nothing. So
we got about $200,000 more this year than we have last year from the state. There's all sorts of weirdness in the calculations, and again, I urge everyone to check out our podcast and the full-length interview, and decide for yourself.
Right.
But May 20th, please go out to vote.
Okay, that's our rant for today.
Yeah. So Norm, this other thing popped up on one of the Don't Be WhatsApp groups that are out there. And it was specifically about the library board seat that's coming up. So apparently no one's running. I think you should have run. I mean, that's you're my nominee.
Yeah, I can't handle another board seat. But I will say the library is really the gold gem of the neighborhood. And so if you would like to have any input to it, there are plenty of parents out there who have kids that use the library. It's not a big, dedication of time. I mean, you have to show up for a board meeting.
Yeah, but here's the vote. There's no name. I mean, it's
a write-in. So, guys, get together, ladies, get together, pick a nominee, all go down and vote.
Yeah, I mean, there's this one guy who's saying he's running on the WhatsApp group. I don't know if it's public or not, so I'm not going to say, who it is. But,
Well, all they have to do is get a bunch of friends together and write it in.
I can't believe there's not a single person who's running. That's just weird.
It is a little bit strange, and I look, I'm nobody to talk because I got enough to do, and I don't want to also be on the board for the library. But the town does depend on people volunteering their time, and we got 20,000 odd people live in town.
Yeah.
Think about contributing to your community.
But maybe it's about the fact that the place runs well. and because if it wasn't, people would be up in arms. People would be screaming for opportunities to be on the seat and make a change.
I think that's part of it. I think it's also tucked in under the school board budget. So I think it's governed, by that. But I don't know. I'm in favor of you running.
Okay, go.
So write in Norm.
Do not do that. I have no nice one.
So on social media, on the various social media Facebook groups that I belong to, there was a whole dust-up about graffiti that was seen by the Hempstead Garden train station. Allegedly, one of them said MS-13 or one of them said MSB. So there was a whole thread about that. Then it was covered over. But in general, there seems to be tagging, if you will, in that area, and it's not so good for the neighborhood.
Yeah, it makes it look dopey. But basically, it is 1 or 2 dopey kids. And every neighborhood needs a dopey kid. So
I hope that's all that it is.
That's all I think it is, because I don't see any major, crime waves hitting our neighborhood.
I would certainly hope not. But again, as you say, there are kids who are bored and think this would be fun, and so they'll tag stuff. So if it wasn't MS-13, it would be something else, some obscenity or God knows what.
I hope that would be the worst of it. And that's it.
So this story caught my attention from the town of Hempstead, that they had a press conference, I think it was yesterday, by the Nassau DA and the town clerk, and it included all these advocates for the Hempstead Animal Shelter, and basically they were calling for changes for the New York State cashless bail law for those who are animal abusers. And if I have the story correctly, I mean, listen, it certainly sounds terrible. If you're an animal abuser, you should be locked up for life, as far as I'm concerned. But at the end of the day, it's like, what about the real criminals that are out there? And it's like,
well, they are real criminals. I mean, this is an advocacy group that wants to step up and say, hey, you guys are not taking seriously people who abuse animals, and you're letting them go. So that brings up the bigger question, which is cashless bail. Cashless bail is a disaster.
Well, that's what I'm pointing out.
Why did they not get this in Albany? What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, you can go up to a cop and, I don't know.
You can get arrested 12 times, and the 13th time you get out on cashless bail.
Yeah.
It's a career for some of these guys.
It's really crazy.
It's crazy.
I really don't get it. So I guess
it's one of those things, though, where I guess the governor doesn't get mugged, and because she doesn't get mugged, she doesn't care about the people who are getting mugged. Look, you guys know, I know this from growing up in New York in the 70s and in the 80s. We have gone right back to the kind of criminality that we were dealing with at the time, and the cashless bail is one of the biggest causes of this.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to worry about getting shoved on a subway track by some lunatic.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of stuff where the people who think they're in charge have no idea what's going on.
Now, was Cuomo the one who kind of, pushed us through, or was it already Hochul that was there?
I can't even imagine how anybody can endorse this. It just makes, because there are a handful of liberals who are worried about the few people who will be abused if there's, if they don't have cashless bail. But meanwhile, you're letting the nuts loose in the streets. It just doesn't make any sense.
I get it. So I guess it's a good thing that for the animals to have advocates, because it is a terrible thing. And again, I think
good for them for
use
stepping up.
animals to be locked up forever. But again, criminals as well. They deserve equal time of being locked up. It's
exactly.
Oh boy. Well, let's take a quick commercial break.
Tiffany Dry Cleaner is ready to handle all your cleaning, laundering, and dry cleaning needs. We offer free pickup and delivery Sunday to Friday in all communities. Give us a shot.
All right, we're back. So Norm, this coming Friday night, there's a multicultural night.
Yep.
It's May 16th, 7 to 8:30 p.m. It's taking place at the West Hempstead Secondary School, and they invite all students, grades 7 to 12, and their families to join.
They have food, craft, right? A whole bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah, what could be wrong?
Yeah.
So here's my question about that. I mean, I think this is a great event. I think everyone should participate in Multicultural Night. In West Hempstead, there is a large Jewish population. There is a large Jewish population that goes to the public schools. And they couldn't go Friday night to this Multicultural Night because Friday night is Sabbath and they're not going to be able to go.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
I think this is a little bit of a miss.
There are over 1,000 families that don't have an opportunity. It's a shame, but maybe it's just a mistake.
Listen, we're calling it out. I just think it's an oversight. It is what it is. I think it's a great night, but make sure you're inclusive of everyone.
But you can join us on the community event for West Hempstead on Sunday.
Yeah. So that's Community Day, and from 12 to 3 p.m. And
it's at the high school's ball field outside.
Yeah.
And they're going to have lots of events there as well.
Yeah. And in that case, again, I'm just reading it. It says here in the flyer, kosher treats and more. So obviously they're going out of their way to make sure to be inclusive of the population.
Very
so
nice.
in one case, thumbs up, in the other case,
Yeah, I think
maybe
again,
not so
I
much.
think this was not deliberate. I think it's just somebody wasn't thinking about it when they set it up.
No big deal.
And
But it's graduation week.
but even before we get to that, we have the Lag BaOmer Grand Barbecue.
That's on the 15th?
That's taking place. That's taking place tomorrow night, Thursday night. I assume rain or shine, but that should be confirmed.
Well, it's going to be outside at Hempstead Lake Park, so I hope it doesn't rain.
Yeah, they have the barbecue that's put together every year by I&D, and they do a great job. There's all sorts of rides and other things for kids, and it's a great event.
Yeah.
So
Join us.
Yeah.
But definitely keep an eye out just in case there's some sort of rain out. But if we know anything, look on the Facebook. We'll try and post about it.
Yeah, don't wear your best shoes to the
for
event.
sure.
That's what I would let you know. And lots of things going on at Restorers, including graduation day cakes. You know what? You want to celebrate a special graduation? There's no better place to go to have your specialty cake done than Restorers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, there's all kinds of other stuff. So if you don't have a graduate, listen, I hope everybody got something for Mother's Day. Father's Day will be coming up soon enough. And listen, just going in the morning, grab something to eat, grab breakfast on your way to work. It's definitely worth stopping by.
Yeah, and so again, we're going to wrap things up and just remind everyone again, May 20th, go out to vote, make your voice heard. And, I'm very, very happy that there's not a lot of noise out there for this year. And, things should go quietly. But that still doesn't mean you shouldn't vote. It's important. You got to go out and you got to vote.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done. I'm getting off the soapbox. Have a great week, everyone.
Take care.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Please be sure to visit our sponsors, Spiegel Law PC, Tiffany Dry Cleaners, and Reister's Bakery. To find out more or to reach out to us, come visit us on social media at Facebook and Instagram, or visit our website at westhempsteadecho.com.